KOAM News Now.
Right now at 5, Galena, Kansas prepares to celebrate the 100-year birthday of Route 66.
And we've got some patchy fog out there, mostly cloudy skies, looking at the possibility of some pop-up showers later today. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, a big property development could soon be coming to Joplin, the biggest in more than 50 years.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is finally Friday in the 4 states.
Finally Friday.
I've been doing this show now for almost, over 2 years now.
Yeah.
I can't remember when I started on the mornings. All I know is it's been a long time, and you celebrate Friday every single time.
I'm enjoying it.
You have to celebrate Friday.
It's great. It's the
beautiful, beautiful way to start the day. And we're going to start the day with a look at the fog tracker because we've got some patchy fog out there. Some of it relatively dense. Now, we don't have any current fog advisories across the area, but if you're heading west out toward Independence, Coffeyville, you got to watch out. That's where some of the denser fog is. And as you can see, we don't have any towns or reporting stations right here, so we can't show you exactly how dense it is, but it's pretty dense fog out there. As you head a little further east, Joplin, Miami, little reduced visibilities down to just over 2 miles. You get a little further north and east, not as bad, but we're going to look at this fog. In fact, this fog was showing up on radar earlier. So we've had some pretty dense fog across parts of southeastern Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma. In fact, there's that brief little moment where it showed up on radar for a little bit out there. So do slow down, use your low beams, not your high beams. Give yourself time to get where you're going this morning, especially right now across parts of Kansas and Oklahoma. And this could eventually spread into Missouri as well. Temperatures this morning, we got a couple of upper 50s, the rest of us into the low 60s out there. So not a bad start to the day. We're going to be warmer today as well. 61, kids getting on the bus, watch out for that fog, calm winds out there. By the time that bus brings them back home, 77, and again, some pop-up storms for some of us. Believe it or not, most of us are going to be dry today. This is mainly along the Kansas-Oklahoma border and then along and south of I-44. 77 when the bus brings them back home. North breeze at 5 to 10. Temperatures today, upper 70s, some of us pushing close to 80 because, again, most of us are dry. Most of us will have mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, and we'll have those pop-up storms in our southern counties. Some other good news, no severe weather expected out of any of this activity, and these storms are going to be relatively isolated. We have an absolutely gorgeous weekend ahead of us. We also have more thunderstorm chances as we head into the next work week. We'll look at all the details on that and the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. A Joplin man is killed in a crash Wednesday evening off Black Cat Road as his pickup crashed over the guardrail 35 feet below to Turkey Creek. A man fishing witnessed the victim, Darren Shockley, 33, being ejected from the Chevy Avalanche as it overturned off the bridge to the water below. Carl Junction Fire Department recovered the body from the water. Missouri State Highway Patrol tells us investigation now reveals alcohol played a factor in the fatal crash. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. A land development project may be the biggest the city of Joplin has seen in more than 50 years. Property developer Woodsania Real Estate Incorporated proposes an approximately $375 million mixed-use development. If built, it would be the largest such project in the city of Joplin since the 2011 tornado, or even since the opening of the North Park Mall in 1972. The project, dubbed Prospect Village, will redevelop more than 78 acres to include a large indoor and outdoor sports complex, parkland, and a trail with water features. Anchor retail space, 350 units of multifamily housing, hotels, and additional retail spaces. The project will be located on the former site of the International Paper Company, land which has been unused for decades. The Joplin City Council will hear the full proposal at their May 20th meeting. Well, Kansas is getting ready to kick off the 100th Route 66 anniversary celebration. Even though the centennial is in 2026, the festivities are already starting. Later today, Galena will hold an event to reveal one of their 2 new Route 66 signs. The sign to be unveiled will be placed on Galena's Main Street and was donated by the state. The other new attraction is a drive-through shield made with the help of the community.
Even though we're still about a year and a half out from really getting started, we're getting started now. And like I said, tourists are already excited for what's going to come. I think every town along the route in all 13 states are really gearing up for things that we want to do and kind of collaborate together.
Not only is it historic for military travel or people coming from the east to west for newer adventure, but it also brought different cultures to different parts of the United States.
Kansas's 13.2 miles of Route 66 is being revitalized. The pavement shields are being painted and Rainbow Bridge will soon receive an extra coat of paint. A new healthcare center offering services that include abortion is set to open in Pittsburgh. This comes as abortion services in nearby states are outlawed or restricted. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke with some citizens from Pittsburgh about their thoughts on the clinic.
Comprehensive Health of Planned Parenthood Great Plains announced a new health center in Pittsburgh. The clinic will offer abortion services, STI and HIV testing, and more. According to the CEO of Planned Parenthood Great Plains, Pittsburgh location improves rural access, saying, quote, "The opening of our new health center in Pittsburgh underscores our dedication to empowering communities and ensuring that individuals have the resources to make informed decisions about their health and future." In August 2022, 55% of Crawford County voters supported protecting abortion access. Pittsburgh citizens remain split on the issue, and now the future clinic.
But a few Kansans don't speak for all of us.
I hope so. It would be closer to home, wouldn't it?
Those who do not support the new clinic says their biggest concern is the abortion services being offered.
In Wichita, there's a lot of people coming to that area for those services, and of course I'm not for abortion, so.
We believe that every child has the right to life. We do believe that parents have rights, but when you just murder a baby.
This center will be the 4th Planned Parenthood clinic in the state of Kansas. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Pittsburgh High School baseball tries to advance to the state tournament. We'll have the details. Plus, the USS Ronald Reagan leaves its Japanese home port for a final time after nearly 9 years. And we have a chance of a few pop-up showers today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Missouri Southern baseball begins NCAA tournament play yesterday evening. For the 2nd year in a row, the Lions host a regional, which means they're playing at their home field and need to knock out 3 other teams in order to advance. Lions' first game of the tournament, they face Harding in Joplin in the 1st inning. Garrett Rice is going to drive one to center field with the bases loaded. And that's going to end up scoring 2 runs, and the Lions begin with a 2-0 lead. So we will head to the 3rd inning. Same score as Henry Kuziak keeps this fair down the right field line. This ball takes a long roll to the fence. Drew Townsend jogs home to score. RBI double for Kuziak, and the Lions lead 3-0. Southern led 6-0 at one point, but Harding comes all the way back. Sebastian Martinez singles to right field, and the game-tying run comes in to score. It's now tied up, so we go to the bottom of the 9th, 6-6 ball game. Garrett Rice hits this hard into the gap, and the outfielder can't make the play. Will Doherty hustles all the way from first base to score the game-winning run. Missouri Southern walks it off. Lions win 7-6. Southern moves to the winner's bracket to face Arkansas Monticello tonight at 5. 5A Regional Championship at Pittsburgh State. Pittsburgh High School faces Baser Linwood. Dragons up 1 in the second inning. Tucker Akins, it's a line drive into left field. A run will score. Pittsburgh far from done. Later in the frame, Quentin Fears gets a base hit into center field. 2 more runs will score. It's 6-2 Purple Dragons. A couple batters later, Grant O'Doherty turns on 1 into left field. It's now 7-2 Dragons lead. Still in the bottom of the second. Bo Pastor, using the wooden bat, cranks a home run to left field. Pittsburgh scores 9 runs in the inning, takes a 10-2 lead. Same score, bottom of the 7th. Webb Fern is going to get a pop fly into right field, and that will end it. Pittsburgh dominates the regional tournament. Purple Dragons win the semifinal and final by a combined total of 25-2. They're headed to the 5A state tournament. Playoff baseball is here in Missouri as well. 3 of our local teams compete in district tournaments last night, one of those being a championship game. Nevada High School baseball coast past Knob Noster in the Class 4 District 12 championship game. Tigers win 10-4. Their season continues in sectionals this Tuesday against Aurora. Over to Class 5 District 7, there will be a COC rivalry game in the championship. Webb City and Carl Junction both dominate in the semifinals. Cardinals and Bulldogs will play for the district title on Monday. Well, still to come, a pair of amazing sisters have created their own nonprofit to promote female empowerment. Plus, we got another check of that forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Why settle for ordinary when you can have eccentric?
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:16 now on this Friday morning. Taking a look outside from our camera on the Cornell Complex. You got some mostly cloudy skies, getting some clearing, but you can also see we have some fog out there this morning. Excuse me, my voice is a little scratchy this morning. I can't imagine why. Our camera, 7th and range line, looking pretty good this morning. The fog not super dense. MoDOT camera down in Neosho, looking all right as well. So not like yesterday where we had a lot of dense fog to start the day. And the KDOT camera south of Pittsburgh, if you look, especially in lights, you can see there's some light fog around the Pittsburgh area, nothing significant. The densest fog is out here toward Coffeyville and Independence, Nowata, parts of southeast Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma. And we do have some reduced visibilities further to the east, but again, the more significant fog is a little further to the west this morning. No dense fog advisories at this point either. Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear. The fog actually for a moment showing up on radar out there. Future track. So let's talk about our pop-up storms today. We're going to be dry for the first half of the day. Then when we do see pop-up storms, the better chances is that if you just took I-44 and continued it almost due west, it's this zone right through here and points south that are going to see the better chances for some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. So a lot of this will just ultimately be rain. A couple of rumbles of thunder will be possible. Some of the good news is we're not anticipating any severe weather with any of this activity. But take a look to the north of these points. Clear skies out there. That's why some of you might even make it as close as 80 degrees today for your high, because outside of the zone where these pop-up showers and storms will be through the afternoon and early evening, everybody else is dry and mostly clear. Then once we head into the evening and overnight, we'll have a few clouds here and there, but otherwise not bad. And that's ahead of an absolutely beautiful weekend that we've got. Mother Nature does owe us one, and she's given us a nice break this weekend. 63 in Joplin. The winds are calm. It is mostly cloudy, and again, some patchy fog out there. Temperatures around the area. Pittsburgh is one of the cool spots at 58. Everyone else for right now into the low 60s, even some mid 60s out there. So yeah, that patchy fog should burn off by about 8, 9 o'clock this morning. Partly cloudy skies, and we will be considerably warmer today, already up to 73 by 11 o'clock. That's again ahead of highs. All of us looking at mid-upper 70s out there, and again, some of you, especially in the western counties into southeastern Kansas, could make near 80. A few isolated pop-up showers or storms. We talked about where those will be, primarily in our southern counties. As we head into the evening and overnight, those skies clear, a cloud or two here or there, and not bad either overnight. 61 for that low. This weekend looking great again. Check out Sunday. Looks to be a day close to 90, mostly clear skies. And then we head into Monday and Tuesday. We do have some thunderstorm chances there. There's that possibility we could see a strong or severe storm on Monday and Tuesday. We'll keep an eye on that. We're really keeping an eye on those thunderstorm chances in the second half of next week. We do have a slightly better chance for some strong, possibly severe thunderstorms. So we'll keep a close eye on that for you. Otherwise, we remain warm. into the low to mid 80s next week as well. That's a check of your forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
Save on updates for every room at
premium vinyl siding and more. So if you have a home in need, give us a call today for your free in-home estimate.
Topping Health Watch this morning, the chief medical examiner's office in Massachusetts says a 14-year-old boy died of a heart attack after participating in a spicy tortilla chip challenge. Harris Wallabaugh, who had congenital heart defect, was attempting Pockley's ultra spicy one chip challenge in September. He ingested a tortilla chip seasoned with both the Carolina Reaper pepper and the Naga Viper pepper. According to the medical examiner's office report, the chip contained a high concentration of capsaicin, the spicy, naturally occurring chemical in chili peppers. The product was packaged in a coffin-shaped box. The company voluntarily pulled it off the shelves following Wallabaugh's death. Well, some tea drinkers are going to have to find something new to brew. Roughly 900,000 tea bags from organic tea brand Yogi have been recalled. According to the FDA, trace amounts of pesticide can be detected on the bags. The FDA determined this is a Class 3 recall, which means the product probably won't cause major health problems. So far, there's been no reports of any related illnesses. Yogi has not responded to requests for comment. More information is available on the FDA's website. A couple of high school students in Henderson, Nevada are working to create change in their community and beyond. A pair of amazing sisters have created their own nonprofit to promote female empowerment. Tricia Keene introduces us.
Our community has embraced us with open arms. Las Vegas community is amazing.
Caitlin and Chloe Kim are the founding members of the Wellness Box Foundation, an organization aimed at collecting and distributing hygiene and period products for women who can't afford them.
So we have a bar of soap.
Caitlin says she was inspired after watching a documentary about period poverty. She learned 1 in 10 girls miss school during their cycle because they don't have access to menstrual products, according to a 2014 report. It was a challenge getting the foundation off the ground, but Caitlin says it was important to her and Chloe.
I think getting it started was probably the biggest challenge, like figuring out what we wanted in each box, where we were going to source the actual materials for each box. But I feel like once we got it started, it kind of took off from there.
What has been the reception at school to your foundation?
So at first, they were shocked by it because we came into school on a Wednesday morning bringing in loads and loads of tampons and pads, and they were very intrigued. But we actually had a lot of people helping us out.
The girls say their volunteers are the backbone of the organization, but they also owe a huge debt of gratitude to their family of Korean descent. How much of an influence have they had on you in terms of giving back to the community that you live in?
Yeah, no, our family has been one of our greatest support systems. Like the Wellness Box Foundation would not be where it is today without the support of our family.
The foundation has proved to be so essential, 17-year-old Caitlin and 15-year-old Chloe are making plans to expand their reach.
Caitlin's going to college in a year, so she's planning to bring the foundation to wherever she goes. And I'm also planning to take it over once she leaves.
That's awesome. So you're going to college. You don't know where yet, but you're going to take this idea where you go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do you want to make this a nationwide nonprofit?
Yeah, so we're already trying to start chapters in different places. Like our friends in California started a chapter. We have a chapter in Virginia right now. So it's definitely something that we want to take nationally.
The girls say the organization has also taught them a lot about their own strengths and capabilities. And they want to share their optimism with other teens looking to make a difference.
An important thing that we stand for is it doesn't matter how old you are, change can happen no matter how old you are.
The Kim sisters say 58% of women have been ashamed to be on their periods, and they say that is especially true among young athletes. That is why they are also producing their own documentary, and it will include interviews with women in sports. The sisters hope they can help others overcome the negativity surrounding the menstrual cycle. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
We've got some patchy fog across the area, some pop-up storms possible for some of us later today, and much warmer temperatures in store for all of us. Well, I'm going to look at your forecast when we come back.
free, fly local, fly Joplin Regional Airport.
Right now at 5:30, a petition calling for an audit of Carterville, Missouri hits the desk of the city's mayor.
And we get some patchy fog out there across the area, then some pop-up showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two for some of us later today. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, a statue which was stolen nearly a year ago has been replaced thanks to the Kiwanis Club of Joplin.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Friday here in the 4 states. We've made it through the week, and we did have some storms this week, unfortunately, once again, and we'll have more of those next week. That we got to keep an eye on. At least today, showers and storms, no severe weather expected out of any of this, which is fantastic news at this point. We also have to contend with some fog out there this morning.
There was a little bit out there on my way in. So
just a little bit on my way in, but it is beginning to thicken up out there, and the fog tracker showing us where that is taking place. Take a look at the changes in the fog tracker since just a few minutes ago, down to 0.3 of a mile visibility in Miami, 0.4 in Fort Scott. The most of this dense fog is right along the Kansas-Oklahoma border out there, so if you're traveling, you've got to watch out for that. Use your low beams, not your high beams. But again, we're starting to see some fog pick up in Bourbon County as well. And we do have some slightly reduced visibility, say Joplin, Grove, Veneta down to just under 2 miles, Newata, Parsons, Chanute, Iola. So just again, make sure you're slowing down, giving yourself time to get where you're going. Nothing on the Skywatch Storm Tracker at this point, so that is some good news because we've been busy lately. But we are expecting some pop-up showers and storms right through here. Basically, if you took the I-44 corridor and just moved it due east, this is where the best shot for those storms is going to be later today. Temperatures around the region, again, Pittsburgh, one of the cooler spots. Fort Scott and Nevada joining in, though, into the upper 50s, as well as Sedan. Everyone else, for the time being, low 60s out there. Kids getting on the bus have to deal with some patchy fog, 61. Winds will be calm, and that bus brings them home. Again, pop-up showers and storms for some of us in that area we were just talking about. Most of us be mostly clear, dry, and warm. Temperatures about 77. North breeze 5 to 10. Highs today upper 70s, and especially out west where you see a little more sunshine, could get close to 80. You got the slight chances for a few pop-up showers and storms in our southern counties. Otherwise, not a bad day ahead of an absolutely beautiful weekend. We'll have the details on that and next week's thunderstorm chances in the full forecast here in a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. If you get a text saying you owe money to a road toll collection service, be careful. Southwest Missouri's Regional Better Business Bureau warns it might be a scam. The message includes a link to settle your balance, which appears to be from a state toll service, but actually is not. If you click the link and provide your personal and payment information on the website, scammers could now have access to that information and you may have lost some money.
First of all, just do a quick inventory. Have you been traveling anywhere that would have a toll road? And certainly we always advise not clicking on unexpected links, unexpected attachments and emails, because you don't know where they're going to go. If you think that there could even be a chance that you missed paying a toll, go directly to Pike Pass, the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority. Go to their webpage, call, reach out to them to verify that. Don't click on those links in the text messages.
If you receive a text message impersonating a road toll collection service, you can file a report with the BBB Scam Tracker. A petition to audit the city of Carterville, Missouri has found its way to the mayor's office. Carterville Mayor Alan Griffin says the audit would cost the city between $45,000 and $65,000. Citizens in favor of the audit say talk of audit costs distracts from the issues of years of alleged unexplained financial shortfalls.
Completed. However, it turns out the city is obligated to pay that amount, and we're anticipating the worst. So $65,000, we've got to figure out how to come up with that kind of funds. And this last Monday, we had a finance meeting, and I've tasked them to look into our budget. It's going to have to come out of general fund.
Griffin says he's not sure when the audit will take place. The Joplin City Council has approved providing free curbside cleanup for Joplin residents following the May 6th tornado. Residents will have till June 3rd to move all limbs and foliage to their curb. The city asked that all debris be located along the curb, not blocking streets or sidewalks. A contractor will begin removing debris on Monday, June 3rd, and will work with the city crews to help create a more efficient process. This month's third Thursday theme was Everything Route 66. South Main Street was lined with especially detailed cars, new and old school models, all in attendance for the event. Bands, food vendors alike, all showcasing their talents. You could say that's what people came for.
My favorite thing about Third Thursday is the food, because I become a food critic, the food critic, not a food critic, the food critic. I go to every place as often as I can. I like to go to different spots every Third Thursday, but unfortunately last Third Thursday, it rained, everybody shut down early, but today I'm here. I'm here for it today, that's for sure. I'm eating everything.
Next month's theme is You Belong celebration. The Joplin Public Library welcomes back a couple of familiar faces. The two kids on bench statue was stolen nearly a year ago and has been replaced thanks to the Kiwanis Club of Joplin. The club facilitated the donation, making the replacement statue possible. While an arrest was made quickly by the Joplin Police Department and the suspect is awaiting trial, the original statue was never recovered. Although the new statue was installed yesterday, an official dedication ceremony will be held Monday, 1 p.m. at the Joplin Public Library. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Slovakia's prime minister is expected to survive an assassination attempt after being shot 5 times. Plus, Ukraine has been fighting off Russian troops moving into its second largest city. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
The St. Louis Cardinals.
Prime Minister is expected to survive an assassination attempt. Robert Fico was shot 5 times as he was greeting supporters outside a cultural center in the town of Handlova on Wednesday. Slovakia's deputy prime minister says Fico is in very serious but stable condition. A suspect is in custody. The deputy prime minister describes the assassination attempt as politically motivated. Fico is considered a controversial figure for halting arms aid to Ukraine, and Western Europeans worry he will reverse course of support for Ukraine's fight against Russia. The U.S. says Ronald Reagan leaves its Japanese home port for a final time after nearly 9 years in the Indo-Pacific. Family and friends of the crew waved off the carrier yesterday from the naval base. The crew formed the Japanese saying "Dewa Mata" or "see you" while departing. The USS Ronald Reagan is one of America's largest ships, as well as being a nuclear-powered Nimitz-class aircraft carrier. It will be replaced later this year by the USS George Washington. U.S. Ambassador to Japan Rahm Emanuel says the transition between the two ships will run smoothly. The Reagan's departure comes as a time of growing tension with China in the Indo-Pacific. Japan has been accelerating its military capability as a result and has significantly increased joint naval operations with the U.S. For the past week, Ukraine has been fighting off Russian troops moving into its second largest city. But NATO has assured the ally help is on its way. Correspondent Connor Hansen has the story.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky made a trip to the front lines in Kharkiv, trying to boost morale for troops fighting off the Russian advance. There have been reports about Russian drones hitting the city Thursday. Zelensky says Ukrainian troops have been launching counterattacks since the advance started last week. During his visit, he handed out awards to injured soldiers and thanked the units still in the fight.
You didn't let the enemy break through. You are strong warriors, as well as other Kharkiv warriors who fight in other brigades defending their homes and all of Ukraine.
The visit comes as Russian state media reports retreating Ukrainian forces shelled a Russian town across the border from Kharkiv. NATO officials don't think Russian troops are capable of advancing much further than the border areas. The alliance is promising help is on the way in the form of ammunition, missile defense systems, and armored vehicles.
The Russians don't have the numbers necessary to do a strategic breakthrough. We don't believe, more to the point, they don't have the skill and the capability to do it.
The New York Times also reporting NATO wants to send forces to Ukraine to train more troops, something that has the potential to draw the alliance into the fighting. The U.S. has maintained it will not send troops there. The U.S. State Department also approved the sale of hundreds of millions of dollars worth of military equipment to Ukraine.
Some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
From the farmer to the DIYer, the homeowner with an acre to mow is here for you.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5:43 on this Friday morning. We've got some patchy fog out there, starting to see a little more of it. Down to a 1/10 of a mile visibility in Miami, half-mile visibility in Fort Scott. The densest fog still right here along the Kansas-Oklahoma border. So if you're traveling out there, you want to make sure you're slowing down. Use your low beams, not your high beams. And of course, we're seeing that fog increase around Bourbon and Vernon counties. We're down to 3 miles in Joplin, 4 in Pittsburgh, 2.7 in Parsons. So you got a fair amount of patchy fog here and there. So again, slow down, take your time, use your low beams, not your high beams. All right, Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear for the time being. However, we're going to see an opportunity for pop-up showers and storms later this afternoon and evening right in this zone here and points south. So all of our southern counties, if you are north of that, you are very likely going to remain dry. You are very likely going to be warmer than some of us today. So what does that look like on the future track? The majority of our day, at least the first half of our day, is dry. We'll have a few clouds here and there, some partly cloudy skies. Temperatures already warming nicely in mid-70s out there by noon. Then by about 1, 2 o'clock, we'll see these pop-up showers and storms. The good news is no severe weather is expected, but we'll see a few of them. And even in this zone, as you can see, not everyone in that zone will see rain, but again, these are just isolated pop-up showers and storms. And by about 7 o'clock, the last of these are out of here. We will be mostly clear through the rest of the evening and heading into our Saturday for an absolutely beautiful day tomorrow and a great weekend that's ahead of us. We're at 62 in Joplin. The winds are calm. It is mostly cloudy. Can't see much fog from our camera here at 7th and Rangeline, but we could see some earlier from our camera on the Cornell complex. So again, that's why it's patchy fog. Temperatures, we've got some upper 50s out there, low 60s across the area as well. So a decent but cool start to the day, about where we should be. Again, patchy fog will burn off by 8, 9 o'clock at the latest. It'll be partly cloudy as we get our morning underway, and about 73 by 11. Bear in mind, yesterday we were about the mid-60s by late morning. We got highs today, upper 70s, and again, some of you, especially in the southeast Kansas, could get close to, if not reach, 80 degrees today. Winds will be light out of the north at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. And of course, as we mentioned, we got some of those pop-up storms for some of us. Heading into the evening, we all start to clear out, mostly clear skies tonight, and we'll fall back eventually into the low 60s out there ahead of a considerably warmer day for us tomorrow. We're looking to be low mid 80s for our Saturday, maybe a passing cloud or two this weekend. Check out Sunday, pushing near 90 degrees. Then we've got thunderstorm chances as we head into Monday and Tuesday, and we could see a couple of strong storms, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. Wednesday looking nice, upper 70s, sunny skies, and then by late Wednesday, heading into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, some additional thunderstorm chances possible. Temperatures warm into the low to mid 80s. But we are watching the thunderstorm chances toward the end of next week. We're looking to have maybe slightly better chances for strong, potentially severe storms. We're still several days out. A lot of things can change, but we'll keep a close eye on that for you. Otherwise, again, temperatures very mild next week, above average most of the days, in those mid 80s out there. That's a check of your forecast. We'll be back with more right after this.
A Colorado family has 3 big reasons to celebrate. A set of triplets in Aurora are graduating at the top of their class. Michael Abita reports.
There's nothing more stronger than family love and sibling love.
If that's true, then it's easy to see where the Adai Opoku family gets their strength.
It was really, really hard, but we did it.
Kwasi and Margaret moved to Colorado from Ghana in the 90s to start their family. They had no idea what was in store for them.
First, we thought it was twins. Then at 24 weeks, that's when we found out it was triplets, and it was a shock.
They welcomed Mariah, Mercy, and Samuel. When it was time for the triplets to go to school, like almost all kids, it was a bit of a transition for them and their parents.
When the teacher was ready to come take them in, I started crying. I cried a lot, and I didn't even get home. And I get a call from the teacher. Can you come back because your kids are screaming?
But that was short-lived because all three took to school like a fish to water, quickly gaining the adoration of their peers and teachers.
They are wonderful kids, very respectful, very humble. And I'm not saying that because they are my children, but that's what we get from the teachers.
Today, the triplets are all three ranked in the top 10 of Hinckley's class of 2024 and graduated with an associate degree from the Community College of Aurora. They're also athletes, friends, and all held down jobs while excelling academically. The triplets say they were successful because of their close relationship.
It's always been a nice comfort to have because we can all relate with each other.
They're all three headed to college, although likely not the same one. They say their parents' guidance will always keep them striving, even if they aren't together.
They always just told us that education is power. When you have education, you can do whatever you want.
The triplets say they are planning on staying close and supporting each other through college. And speaking of triplets, students and teachers at one school in Bowman, North Dakota are used to seeing double and even triple. Among the nearly 500 students, there are 13 sets of multiples, both twins and triplets. Jody Kurzman introduces us to all of the siblings.
Maggie Johnson has a thing for basketball, but she's not sure it's her favorite sport. She and her twin brother Walker like a lot of sports.
Basketball, football, soccer.
The third graders are competitive on the court and in just about every other part of their lives too,
That's me.
including who's older. Maggie barely wins that competition.
1 minute.
If there was a competition for the school with the most sets of twins and triplets, Maggie and Walker's school might be the winner.
That's me. I'm pretty positive.
At Bowman County School, there are 13 sets of multiples, 11 sets of twins, and 2 sets of triplets, from kindergarten to seniors.
Yeah, the water different here.
Identical twins Bowden and Bishop Duffield are the oldest multiples in the school.
It's pretty awesome to be a twin.
Look how cute we are. When we were little, we looked a lot alike, but as we grew up, we all kind of got our own personalities and just stopped looking alike.
The Headley triplets no longer look alike, but they're still grateful for each other.
If one triplet's gone, you always have another one.
And that's me.
The Murnack triplets agree. Being a triplet is pretty cool.
Always have a brother to talk to.
Fraternal twins Hadley and E.J. Janikowski say being a twin is cool too, but also a little annoying.
We had to share a room for a very long time, so we had to share everything, and we had to spend a lot of time together.
But they know that this time together is a gift, and being a part of this group of multiples is something pretty special.
That's crazy. 13 sets.
These 13 sets of multiples total 28 of the school's 492 students. That's about 5% of the student population, a number Hadley Janikowski had a hunch about.
I had a rough idea there was this many.
This picture will be a lasting reminder to all these multiples of just how lucky they are.
The elementary principal says there used to be even more multiples, but 3 sets have moved away in the past several years. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Welcome to Falcon Lake Farm, where every event begins.
17 from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Limit 50 tires per customer.
A bear in Washington was caught on camera living his best life. The young animal was strolling around the streets, backyards, and even hanging out in trees in Tacoma. People in the area say they've spotted the bear since the weekend. Lakewood police were able to capture the bear who was hanging on a tree. The team used a tranquilizer dart to put the bear to sleep, then catch it in a large net. Fish and wildlife took it to the North Cascades, a more familiar habitat. An Indiana judge has answered a question that has plagued humankind for generations. Actually, it may have only been asked in Fort Wayne. That's where Martin Quintana opened a famous taco in a single-family home. The problem was he was in an area where the city had designated only restaurants that serve sandwiches could be open. That's because they wanted to keep out fast food restaurants. Quintana argued his restaurant is legal because tacos are Mexican sandwiches. Judge Craig Babe settled the issue on Monday. He ruled that tacos and burritos are in fact sandwiches. Babe pointed out in the language in the restriction does not limit restaurants to only American cuisine.
That's certainly an interesting debate to have, and I'm glad that it went to the courts, that it could be decided.
Tacos are my favorite sandwich now.
They are an excellent sandwich, and so I've got to encourage the wife to make more sandwiches. Yes. Sandwich makes it sound healthier too, you know?
It does.
Sandwich sounds, because you get a burger, it doesn't sound healthy. You get a taco, it doesn't sound so healthy. But if you say sandwich, for some reason, that sounds healthier.
There you go, Chris.
Well, get out there and enjoy some sandwiches today. It's going to be a wonderful day. Some patchy fog through about 8, 9 o'clock, partly cloudy otherwise, 73 by 11 o'clock this morning. Heading into the afternoon in our southern counties, along Kansas-Oklahoma border, and then along and south of I-44. A few pop-up showers or storms possible by the afternoon into the early evening. No severe weather expected. Elsewhere, if you're north of that, you're going to be mostly clear, warm, upper 70s for all of us. And some of you in southeast Kansas, where it's going to be a little clearer, could make it close to 80 degrees today. We'll have mostly clear skies through the late evening hours and overnight, and not bad, falling back into the low 60s. Our weekend looks great, 80s, mostly clear Saturday and Sunday, and dry. Thunderstorm chances Monday and Tuesday, as well as next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Temperatures next week above average most days into the mid to upper 80s. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Stream KOAM News Now on the TV.